We are living in a time right now where we're looking for a lot of answers. A lot of things have come up in the past couple of years, including the world situation, where we are emotionally and mentally at a point now where we're just questioning a lot of things that's going on. We are more uncertain now as to what tomorrow's going to bring us than has ever been for many, many years. I can say in my lifetime, I've never seen anything that's gone on, anything similar to what's going on right now. So I can understand why there would be a little bit of confusion emotionally and mentally. But there is a group of people that is preying on that, and you got to be real careful. You know, a lot of the Bible, the Torah, the Quran, all of the major religious books mention and warn of people who are false prophets. And I'm going to tell you, false prophets always pop up during the time where the mass population is in some state of weakness. Let me say that again. False prophets always pop up during a time where the mass population is in some state of emotional or mental weakness. And it goes without saying that the world situation has placed the mass population of this world in that particular position. So when you're weak like that, you're vulnerable for anything and everything. Now what's happening is we're being divided into two groups. We're either going to be divided into a group of people who know what time it is, aka woke, or you're going to be in the other group that's the sheeple. And those are the people that's just following everything and they wind up suffering their demise. They're not going to make it. We already know that. Well, the thing is, there's a group of people, these false prophets, and I call them the fake woke people. These are the people that go around saying that they're aware and that they're chosen and they're woke and they're the so-called bridge to bring the masses to the reality and everything else. But you got to be careful. And these aren't only individuals. There are organizations that are doing this, claiming that they're woke and that they're aware. And what they do is they speak the language and they present themselves in a way where they capture everybody's attention. They've got everybody captivated and they prey on their vulnerable feelings and get them riled up. And what they wind up doing is they wind up fleecing these people of their resources. And resources are already questionable during this time. And more than likely, it's a group of people that had limited resources before the world situation started, and they're more vulnerable now, and they're taking a little bit that they have and giving it to these people. And you got to be careful because they are everywhere. And they're going around using the term that they're woke to try to make people think, oh, well, you know, it's this new awareness and blah, 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 trying to get into people's heads and you know, stroke their egos and tickle their emotions and make them get all hyped up and make them feel that they're super powerful and they can do this and they can do that because you were the bottom and now you're going to be the top. You know, taking scripture totally out of context just for power. And at the end of the day, when they get what they want, you don't hardly hear anything from them anymore. And they disappear. So you got to be very, very aware of these people. And you got to pay close attention to how they conduct themselves. If you see somebody who pops up out of the blue during this time and they're addressing a pressing social issue or whatever the case may be, and they're just everywhere you look, be skeptical. Because more than likely the issue that they're talking about existed before the world situation started. But have you noticed that before the world situation started, you didn't hear anything of this person? You haven't heard them say one word. You haven't seen them. All of a sudden, when the world situation starts, they try to make this particular issue an issue. It was an issue way before the world situation even occurred. And they were nowhere to be found. A good way to find out if a person's intentions are good is to investigate. Check the backgrounds of these people. Check the backgrounds of these organizations. Find out what they're about and what they're doing. If they're collecting money, find out where the money is allocated, find out who's involved, check these people's criminal records, their backgrounds, check them. Because if they're a false prophet, they've got some serious mess going on somewhere, and this is their golden opportunity to get the golden eggs. And they're going to try to get as much as they can because they don't know how long this thing is going to be around. And when it ends, you won't hear anything from them. They'll disappear because they've taken all that they could take from everybody, and they'll be nowhere to be found. That's what false prophets do. They already know they have a limited time on this earth anyway. So that's why they're going so hard to get as many people as they can to join their cause, because they know their time is limited. Because it's a matter of time before the real woke people, the real people who are woke, will see them for who they are and run them off. Spiritual warfare is real, people, and if you didn't believe it before, you damn sure need to believe it now. Spiritual warfare is real. And you got to make sure that you're aware every single time that you walk out the door. You don't know who or what you're going to come into. People that you knew before this whole thing happened, that you thought you knew, they are doing and acting in ways that you would have never thought they would have done and acted before the world situation started, because they're in a state of desperation. And desperation will make a person do anything. I don't put anything past a person who's desperate. And that's what a lot of these false prophets do. So just investigate. Just investigate. I've seen different organizations and groups pop up ever since this thing started last year. And I'm thinking, the first thing that I think to myself is, okay, you know what? If this issue was a pressing issue before, where were they before? Why all of a sudden they're showing up now? You got to investigate and dig and ask questions and see they're depending on you being ignorant. They're preying on your ignorance. This is your life we're talking about, and you got to take it seriously. Mind, body, and soul. Just saying.